Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum and I'm here today at Morphy's taking a look at a special version of the Beretta AR-70. This is an SCS-70. It is a specific version that was introduced for Italian Special Forces. Now, the Beretta Model 70 was sort of the result of a collaborative project between Beretta and SIG, but it was one that didn't really work out. And this deal ended in 1968. The two companies each went their own ways. SIG would initially come out with the SIG 530 and then the SIG 540. And the 540 and the Beretta AR-70, which was Beretta's eventual product from this collaborative work. The AR-70 and the SIG 540 are rifles that have a lot of similarities, although they are certainly not the same rifle. Now, Beretta came out with this in 1970 because, well, they'd been hoping to just get a license to manufacture the M16. Colt was not willing to give that to them, and so they ended up going, well, I guess we'll just do our own rifle. We have that thing with SIG that we did, so let's finish that up and put it into production. That became the Beretta AR-70. It is a rotating bolt, long-stroke gas piston rifle, kind of like the SIG 540. Now, the SCS-70 version here is the short-barreled, it's a 12.7-inch barrel, and folding stocked carbine version. Now, they did also make an SC-70, which is essentially the folding stock on a full-length rifle, but this is the one that, to me, is particularly interesting. So let's take a closer look at it. Really, who doesn't like cool little cute short-barreled 5.56 carbines like this? Yeah, they sacrifice a lot of velocity compared to a full-length barrel, but they're just really neat. If we take a look at the left side of the receiver, we have the Beretta original markings, and you'll note this is a model SCS-70/223 and its serial number. Beretta did not opt for a burst mechanism on these rifles, so you have automatic, semi-automatic one, and safe. And just a little interesting point, if we drop the hammer, yes, it is empty. You will see that the AR-70 trigger group has that same quirk as the M16 one in that you cannot put the selector onto safe if the hammer is dropped. You have to recock it. And then it can go onto safe. The stock locks in both the folded and extended positions, so to open it or close it, you have to push this button and then fold the stock out, like so. This does use the same magazines as the standard AR-70s. They are a proprietary nose-in rock-back magazine. It would be with the 70-90 pattern, which we'll talk about in a moment, when this changed to using the regular Stanag magazines. The front end of the gun has changed a bit compared to the regular AR-70. We first off have a new style of handguard. This was actually adopted in 1983, and I believe it was applied to the AR-70 as well as the SCS-70s. And then the muzzle area has changed as well. So the standard AR-70 and SC-70 have rifle grenade setups, so they have a longer muzzle extension here to accept a rifle grenade, and they have a gas cutoff for use with rifle grenades. This does not. It does have the same sort of disassembly mechanism out front here, though, where we depress this lock catch, and then the muzzle device is simply threaded on the AR-70. That's a much longer device for a rifle grenade. The other improvement here was the addition of pistol grip storage. So we've got a little metal plate there. And if I slide that off, we have space. And in fact, this one still has its original little cleaning kit in the pistol grip, which is exactly what that pistol grip storage is intended for. So you have a 300-meter zero, and if I tilt the rifle so you can see it, a 150-meter zero with windage adjustment done on the side. The front sight is just a post, a couple of short protector wings, and that's threaded so you can screw it in and out to adjust elevation. The rest of the disassembly of the SCS-70 is identical to the Beretta AR-70, and I have that in a video already, so I won't redo it here. I will just link at the end of this video to my AR-70 video, and if you want to see the full takedown, you can check it out there. All in all, not a whole lot of changes compared to the regular Beretta AR-70, but I think the folding stock and the short barrel make this a really neat little carbine. It was, of course, used by Italian Special Forces until 1990, when the AR-70 family was replaced with the AR-70/90 family. The 70-90 was a series of improvements that were actually originally developed for Beretta's submission of a rifle to the 1980s NATO rifle trials. Well, Beretta didn't end up getting chosen as a new NATO rifle, but all of those improvements did go into a package that was adopted by the Italian military. When they did that, they proceeded to make basically the same pattern, the SCS-70/90, with all of those 1990 period upgrades. Anyway, this is the early version, the SCS-70. It is a registered pre-86 dealer sample. So this came into the country, well, post-1968, pre-1986, which makes it eligible as a dealer sample only. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.